guys, it's Miss Simpson and it's time for math today. So let's go ahead and start talking about multiplication and division word problems. So we have done a lot of review with multiplication and division. If you are still struggling with your math facts, you have to have those memorized. So you should have your multiplication facts just about memorized by now. If you're having trouble with any of them, it would be like the 7s and the 8s. And that's all right, but I need you to know that you have to have some strategies in order to solve those problems. So if you don't know 8 times 4, you should know in your brain that you can do repeated addition, which means you can do 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, and that will give you 8 times 4, because repeated addition is the same thing as multiplication. If I have 8 times 4, if I did 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, that will give me the same answer because there's 4 8s here and you're doing 8 times 4. So 8 times 4 is 32. And then 8 plus 8 is 16. 8 plus 8 is 16. And if I add 16 and 16, I get 32. So repeated addition is the same thing. Now you should also know you should know how to do long division. Now you might get confused every now and then with the steps, or you mess up a little bit, but you should know the steps: divide, multiply, and subtract, bring it on down and bring it on back. A lot of your STAR test is not going to ask you to divide two numbers. It's going to give it to you a little bit tricky, and that is in a word problem. And you will have word problems for the rest of your life in education. So as long as you're in school, you will have math word problems. So we've got to start working on them now. So here is our keywords anchor chart, and I have written down, now we've done addition and subtraction, and for the next 2 weeks, we're working on multiplication and division. So for multiplication, if you're seeing words like times, multiply, multiplied by, product, in all, factor, equal groups, those are all multiplication words. If you see words like half, split, each, separate, anything with groups, that is all dividing words. You don't have to have these memorized. You just need to be able to determine what operation we're using in a word problem. So for addition and subtraction word problems, we are still using the UPS check method. You need to understand the problem in this box, plan it out in this box, solve it, and check it. So today I am not at school. I know I'm doing this video, but I am not at school today. So I am not available for small groups and I'm not available for help time. What that means is we are going to do math together like we did on Friday in the video so that you can turn it in when you're done, because I don't want anybody confused and not able to reach me. If you have an emergency, like your work isn't showing up on Canvas, your Canvas isn't working, or something like that, please make sure that you message me and let me know. But if it's not an emergency and it can wait until Tuesday, keep it in your noggin and we will talk about it on Tuesday. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started trying to solve some word problems. So I'm going to do 2 where I just do it. I'm going to think it through and I'm going to show you how I solve it. And then you're going to get out a piece of paper and we're going to do 4 together. All right, Shannon purchased 9 racks of ribs. Each rack had 22 ribs. How many ribs did Shannon purchase? So first I'm going to understand by underlining the question and circling the numbers. So she has 9 racks of rib. Each of them have 22 ribs. How many ribs did Shannon purchase? So I noticed the word each. I know that the each tells me to multiply. So in my plan, if it is a multiplication or division problem, you can't use a strip diagram. You can use a strip diagram, but it's a little bit more tricky. So we are not going to use a strip diagram, or I'm not, for addition and subtraction. For multiplication and division. Addition, subtraction, my favorite way to plan it out is a strip diagram. For multiplication and division, my favorite way to plan it out is a picture. So if I have, these are my racks of ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each rack of rib has 22 ribs on it. That's a lot of ribs. How many racks of ribs did she purchase altogether? So I could go through and count 22 for each of these, or I could just multiply. So now I'm going to solve it. 22 times 9. I know 9 times 2 is 18. Put my 8 and carry my 1. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 1 is 19. So I have 198 ribs, and I'm going to circle my answer. So in order to check this, I can do a whole bunch of different things. I could take 198 and I could flip it around. So let's say I have 22 times 9 equals 198. I could take 198 and I could divide it by 9. So you could just do it backwards and change this into a division sign and change this into an equal sign. So 198 divided by 9 should be 22. I don't know if you guys knew you could do that, but you can read it the other way. So let's see if that is correct. So 9 into 19 would be 2. If I subtract 19 and 18, I get 1. 9 into 18 again is another 2. So was I correct? Yes, my answer was right. We have 198 ribs. Let's go ahead and do the second problem. Parker walked 325 miles over the last 5 months. If he walked the same mileage each month, how many miles did Parker walk in 1 month? So as I was reading, I was already circling. So he walked 325 miles total. And he walked those in 5 months. Another thing, they're asking me for, and it has the word, if you walked each month, sometimes we say each would be multiplication. In this instance, I don't know that it is, because if I multiply that, it's going to give me the wrong answer. Because in those 5 months, he walked a total of 325. He didn't walk 325 each month. We want to know how many he walked in each of the months. So if I have 5 months, and this is my 325 days, I've got to split this into even groups. This is my plan, guys. I have to split this 25 miles into even groups. So in order to do that, I've got to divide. Because yes, it said the word each, but it doesn't want to know 325 times 5. Let's do it. 5 divided by, 325 divided by 5. 5 can't go into 3, so I'm going to put a 0. So 5 times 0 is 0, and I'm going to subtract 3 and 0. Now bring it on down and bring it on back. 5 can fit into 32 6 times. 5 times 6 is 30, and subtract them, I get 2. Now I'm going to bring it on down and bring it on back. 5 can fit into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25, and I'm going to subtract them and get 0. So he did 65 miles in 1 month. So in order to check it, watch this. If you take 325 divided by 5 equals 65. Just like with this, you can read it backwards. So if I already did division, I can do multiplication now. I can do 65 times 5 equals 325. So now that's how I'm going to check it. I'm going to do it backwards. 65 times 5. And we've done this before. I taught you how to check your division problems. You take your quotient and you multiply it times your divisor, and it should give you your dividend. So 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 2 is 32. So did I get the correct answer? Sure did. All right, so we are actually going to do 5 just like we did on Friday. I'm going to slowly release you to do it by yourself. So at the top of your paper, I want you to write word problems. I'm going to put word probs. And we are going to do 5. So the first one we're going to do all completely together, and then I'm slowly going to release you to do it by yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and draw however many I can fit on my first page, probably just 2. And I'm going to write my UPS check. All right, let's get started. I want to do this one. All right. Sally bought 3 packages of cookies. Each package contained 9 cookies. She put an equal number of cookies into 4 different trays. How many cookies were left over? So, let's understand this. She has 3 packages of cookies, right? Each package, so a package equals 9 cookies. She put all of the cookies into 4 trays. And she wants to know how many are left over. So this looks like there are 2 steps to this problem. So first of all, I have to figure out the total amount of cookies. So she has 1, 2, 3 packages of cookies. And each of those packages, she has 9 cookies. So then she took all of these cookies and she put them into these 4 trays. So I'm thinking I need to figure out how many cookies she has all together. So I want you to take 9 and multiply it by 3. That'll give you your total amount of cookies. So take 9 and multiply by 3. What's 9 times 3? 27. So now I know she's got 27 cookies. So now she's got to take all 27 of these and put them into each of these trays. So if I am taking something and putting it into groups should show you that she automatically, she has, automatically, that you have to divide when we're putting something into groups. So let's do 27 divided by 4. All right, 27 divided by 4. Can 4 go into 2? No. So how many times can 4 fit into 27? So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So I can only fit it in there 6 times. So how many cookies does she have left over? She has 3 cookies left over because that is how many cookies did not fit into the pan evenly. That is your remainder. So we have 3 cookies. So in order to check this, I'm going to take this answer and I'm going to multiply. I'm going to check my division. You can multiply your answer 6 times your divisor and you'll get 24. If you take your 24 and you add your remainder back into there, it should give you your dividend. Did it? Did I get the answer right? Yeah, she had 3 cookies remaining. That was her remainder. All right, let's try another problem. Cindy collected 1,295 feathers. She put an equal amount of feathers in 7 different boxes. How many feathers does Cindy put in each box? So we have 1,295 feathers. We have 7 boxes, and we are putting them in each box. That shows me we are going to multiply. Wait. No, it doesn't. In each box, let's draw our picture. So she has 7 boxes. Ooh, yeah, Miss Simpson was wrong. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she took those 1,295 feathers and she put them into groups. If you see this, if you are working on a group, it is division. So right now, I want you to do 1,295 divided by 7 on your own. Okay, so first I do, can 7 fit into 1? And no, it can't. 7 times 0 is 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Now I'm going to bring down my 2. 7 can fit into 12 one time, and that gives me 5. I'm going to bring down my 9. How many times can 7 fit into 59? So 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. So let's do 8. Then 8 times 7 is 56. And we're going to subtract and get 3. Bring down that 5. 7 can fit into 35 5 times. So I'm going to subtract 7 times 5, which is 35, and get 0. So now we're going to take our answer, 185, and you're going to multiply it by your divisor. So you multiply the top and the side together, and you should get the one underneath the garage. So I want you to go ahead and check your answer, and if we got it right, we're going to circle it. All right, so you should have unpaused by now. I am not going to do the check with you. You have to do it by yourself. And so go ahead and circle your answer. Now I'm on the back of my paper, so let's go ahead and let's write another box. Okay, on this one you have to solve and check it by yourself. And I'm not going to help you with this one. Matt's store has 24 shelves. He put 32 books on each shelf. How many total books did Nat place on all of the shelves? So he's got 24 shelves. So write that down. 24 shelves. He's got 32 books on each of the shelves. How many total? Total tells me either to add or to multiply. In this case, we're only working with multiplication and division, so it's multiply. So if I have my plan for this one, I don't want to draw out 24 things and 32 books. So I would go ahead and write out my equation. So if I multiply 32 times 24, it will give me, and I'm going to put it a letter. It'll give me, it'll give me B. B just is instead of writing a question mark, we are going to write a variable. We'll talk about variables next week, but we're going to write a variable. All it means is it's a placeholder. It's like a blank. It's a question mark. It's no big deal. We just don't know what the answer is, so we're going to put a B. So right now, I want you to go ahead and solve this problem, and I want you to check it. Remember, when you check it, you can turn it back around. So whatever your answer to B is, say it's 562, you can do 562 divided by 24 equals 32. And you can check it by doing it backwards. All right, so you should have solved and checked that one. On this one, I'm going to help you understand it. And then you have to do all of the 3 other steps on your own. U, P, S, check. Okay, so for this one, I am going to read out loud to you the word problem. So, Sarah purchased 10 books. Sarah purchased 10 books. Each book has 300. No. Each book has 75 pages. How many pages are there all together? So all together shows you either addition or multiplication. Today and tomorrow we're working on only multiplication and division, so this has to be multiplication. So Sarah has 10 books. Each book has 75 pages. How many pages are there all together? I want you to plan, solve, and check this one. Plan, solve, and check this one. All right, so you should have unpaused by now. Draw one more UPS check, and you are doing this one by yourself. You're doing it by yourself, and I really do think that you can do it. Okay, so let's do this one. You're doing this one by yourself. I have marked part of the problem out because I only want you to do a part of it. So you have to do the whole entire UPS check by yourself. Jack bought 7 jars of peppers. Each jar contained 38 peppers. How many peppers did Jack have altogether? One more time. Jack bought 7 jars of peppers. Each jar contained 38 peppers. How many peppers did Jack have altogether? So I want you to solve that one using the UPS check model all by yourself. When you are done, take a picture of it and turn both sides in. So I make sure that you followed along the whole entire time. All right, my loves, I love y'all so much, and I will talk to you later. I will be back tomorrow, and so, yes, you will have a little bit more, like the normal amount of work, and I won't be doing it with you in the video anymore. All right, I love y'all so much. Have a great day. Bye.